Hello, we're back at Arnold Pack and Ship. Today we're in Lakeville, Connecticut at one of our stores. We're packing a couple items that came from Christie's auction house in New York. These are somewhat delicate. They're enameled white opaline glass. They're very beautiful and obviously very, very delicate, which requires double boxing. So in order to prepare to wrap with bubble, I'm going to cover this surface here with a very thin sheet of foam. And this will just protect the painted surface. And I like to do this with the neck before I wrap with the big bubble. I'll take some of this small bubble and I'll wrap the neck just so I have a more even surface when I come around it with the larger bubble. And I'll make a little collar blanket, if you will. And then we're going to pull that down a little for now. The neck tends to be the more delicate part of the vase, so we're going to reinforce it with a little scarf, if you will. Just like that. Always tape snug, but not too tight. Never want to stress the item. Now I can bring this up a little bit, like that. Put this out of the way so it's not in any danger. This is our 2-foot wide large bubble, which I will probably wrap at least three, if not 4x, meaning 4 times around. That gives us an acceptable thickness. I like to just put this here. And the object here is just to roll a nice, tight, snug covering. There we go. A little overlap on each end, and that I'll tuck that in after. That's 1x. That's 2x. And because I have a little room to spare from the beginning, that'll be good right there. This initially will go into an inner box that will be 12 inches wide, so I've got about a little under 9. That will give me 1.5 inches of peanuts. And very often at the end I'll just take a single sheet to close it up. So I'll take the small bubble. Fold that. That will also have the effect of padding the bottom. Tuck that up. Again, always snug, but not tight. We never want to stress the item we're packing. And a nice fold over, tucked in. And then we take some of our ends like that. I like to come across, I like to intentionally make these little ends because it gives you a little more protection around the bottom. And then tighten them up. again across the snug, but not too tight. So we actually have a little extra padding there. Come up. We are about 2 inches over the top. And again, this is fairly delicate. So I think I'll put that down. So I can drop it. I'll come from the outside. Fold that over like that. That's good. And again, one more time from the outside, being careful not to stress that lid, but again, snugness. Then I'm left with my 4 points again, which I'll gather in. A couple more pieces of tape. And also keeping in mind that my inner box will be 24 inches high. We're at about 22, which is good. And I've taken a lamp box, which is actually 40 inches high, and cut it down to my pre-measured 24 inches. So we're going to place in our inner box the vase. And again, one thing I like to do is always orientate, as we've discussed in other episodes, from the bottom and the top, as I want it facing up, and then I'll mark the box as such, so that the carrier will always know how the box should be orientated. Back with peanuts. We do recycle peanuts, but when I ship high value, I always use a high level, non-recyclable C peanut, because it has the right memory in terms of packing. So for any of these high-end items, you want to use good new packing peanuts. So again, we center the item in the box. We jostle it a little. We want those peanuts to settle. And again, around. I'm going to jiggle it just a little. Make sure it's down on all 4 corners. Now, one thing we do is apply a little pressure each of the corners. Just make sure that there are any gaps down below. They're filled with the peanuts. The goal is a uniform density of peanuts, and more importantly, a uniform amount of stress around the item. If the stress is dissipated, perhaps from a side impact to the box, you want that stress, those forces, to go outward. And this will, we hope, mitigate any damage. Again, I don't want to push too hard down, I just want it snug. And I will seal this box. This is our inner box. Again, one thing I've learned is never force a box. As long as we're close, it's snug. And our little shake test, I can tell that the item is snug and secure inside the box, then we're in good shape. As always, when we do our taping, a couple inches is more than sufficient. We just want to make sure every open edge is secured. What that does is allow the box to maintain its full integrity in terms of its rating. And I'll show you right now. Every box is rated. Let me fold that over for you. This is rated at 65 pounds, meaning that the capacity of the box should not exceed 65 pounds. Now, We are going to place this in the outer box. Again, this is a Arnoff barrel. It's a 5.2 cubic box. It has the added benefit for us in shipping of being double walled. And that gives us an extra layer of protection. And as you notice here, instead of 65, it's rated at 100 pounds. And we only have one item going in here, which is about 8 pounds of the very fine glass, so we'll be well below our limit. We're going to place the box again standing up in the outer box. And then again, more peanuts. What I've learned over time, peanuts do settle. So first I'm going to get my box mostly full, and then what I'll do is as I wiggle the inner box, I will pull it up. That will make sure that all the peanuts underneath the bottom settle, and also that I'm a uniform distance away from both the bottom and the top of the box. Again, a little shaking, make sure we're settled. I've got good placement in terms of a uniform 2.5 inches of cushioning. I'm going to settle my corners, push away everything so I have a good center. Now I'll pull up a little bit, shaking gently, and I can see that it's holding on the bottom. I still, well, we need 2 inches. I'll pull that up a little. So this guarantees that I have 2.5 inches not only around each of the 4 sides, but a good 2 inches on the top and the bottom. If you can get a peanut dispenser, it's a lot easier. But, alright, let's see what we got here. Again, a gentle shaking, and as you can see, those peanuts are still working their way down. And they will throughout the journey that this box will take, probably on United Parcel Service. Now I'll close the box just to see how tight it is. It's firm without forcing the lids down. And so I have a very, very good snug package. I'll use a little lever from my knee. I'll make sure my edges are in. But again, never force them. The box will tell you literally where that point is of tension. You never want to stress the item inside. This may seem like overpacking, but for an item like this opaline glass vase, which is a 19th century piece, just bought at auction, and something that is shipping to another state on not only a truck but moving conveyor belts, we have protected it. So I hope this helps you in your packing endeavor. Have a good day.